January 2019. Welcome to New Jersey. The Wayne Hills Mall sits on the brink of demolition. Join me as I take you through one final walkthrough through the sloppy halls of yet another structure that is bound to become erased from memory. Hi everybody, Anthony here with Aces Adventures, and welcome to Wayne, New Jersey. Welcome to what's left of the Wayne Hills Mall. What you're seeing here in the beginning are some pretty incredible shots of the current condition of this property. I'm going to talk about the brief history of this mall, and then just kind of chat for a minute about what I thought about going through this property, and then also get to some stuff that's upcoming for the channel. So as you're seeing right now, I've been to a lot of malls in my day in the almost 3 years that's coming up of this channel, and this mall by far is easily top 1 or 2 worst condition that I've ever seen. It had been raining in there quite a bit, and you can see from this still image right here when the mall was open to this image right here of this incredible Sam Goody sign, just how far this mall has fallen. They are doing some work in this property right now, and they are getting it ready for demolition, so they have created some openings in the roof. So my good buddies Nick over at the Caldor Rainbow blog, and of course Mr. Denwell himself, Jack Thomas, were here just before I was here a few weeks before, and had mentioned just how bad a shape this place was in. I had worn sneakers to this location, and sorely regret that. I wish that I would have worn boots because it got pretty wet and nasty in there pretty quick. But the surprising thing is that it was not that moldy. Because of the open air up top from the roof where they're doing the work and whatnot, there actually was not much of a mold smell, so I didn't even really need a respirator, surprisingly as that had sounded. Having said that, like I said, this was a waterlogged adventure, to say the least, and I'm working on getting a better light for my camera too. I noticed this footage is just a tad bit grainy because of the light, but hopefully you guys can still see this okay. So anyways, this mall opened in 1974, and it has only 104,000 square feet, so it's not a very big property. It's a T-shaped mall that has some unique characteristics to it. It does open up to a couple different out parcels on either side. It was originally anchored by a Myers Brothers store, and that actually lasted all the way up until the late 90s, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I think late 90s. The information on this property was pretty hard to come by. So this mall opens up to, on one side, it has there's a Kmart that's just across the walkway, so to speak, and then on the front part of it, there is a former Toys R Us location, which was a Child World location up until 1992. They actually went out of bankruptcy almost 30 years ago, which is crazy to think that it's been that long since the Child World has been around. And you'll notice that there are a decent amount of Child World locations that are still abandoned today. So this property has been closed since 2008, and like I said, they're getting ready to tear this place down. There is a lot of natural decay in here. There's also a lot of water damage, and then the construction crew that is doing the demolition, like you can see right here in this Foot Locker, it makes it kind of look worse than it really is. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still very bad, but there are a lot of things piled up where they're getting things ready for demolition and scrapping some wire and just doing the normal processes they would do to gut it and get it ready for demolition. This is going to become a grocery store. I want to say it was a ShopRite, but I'm not 100% sure. I believe that's what I read in the papers. So at least they're going to redo this property and turn it into a grocery store and a couple other different types of properties. So it's good to see this place have a secondary life, albeit it won't be a mall. So as far as this mall goes, that's pretty much all I have to say about this mall. Once again, I'm gonna reiterate my good buddy Jack over deadmalls.com. He is now doing videos with his channel as well, so please make sure you go and give his channel a like and subscribe. He is the OG, the originator, him, Pete, and Brian, as I have said before, of this Dead Mall game, and they were around before anybody else was. And I will make sure I leave a link to his video and channel in the description below, as he's going to have a video out on this with more detailed stats. I tell you guys history about these places, but I don't ramble on about it too much. I just like to, kind of give some brief history, and then, put some cool tunes in there and let you guys enjoy some nice vaporwave music and whatnot. So, as we look through this incredibly disgusting T-Mobile store. So 2019 has just started upon us. We're in January now, and I just thought I would give you guys, as you watch this video, some information about what's going to be coming up for the channel. And I don't usually script these things that I say. I just like to talk off the cuff and let you know what's going on with the channel. Just kind of chat while you're watching. So we are going to be going to Detroit in just about 2 or 3 weeks and going to be filming some interesting places. I'm going to keep it under wraps for now, but we are going to be heading to Detroit to film some exclusive locations. I can't wait to share with you guys those places that we're going to. I do have plans to visit Texas this year at some point. I'm going to be going to Oregon at some point, hopefully in the summer, for some, hopefully see some cool mall locations and for some other special reasons. So there is a lot going on this year, and I have very, very anxious plans. And so I'm excited to show you guys what 2019 is going to bring. If you do have places that you do want to see, I do try my best to keep up with locations that are, good locations to see, but things are ever changing. And when you work a full-time job like most of us do, it's hard to keep up, totally with places that are open. So if you have a tip on a place that's open, or you have a place you want me to see, please leave me a message on one of my social media accounts, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Make sure you are following me on Instagram and Twitter at Aces Adventures 1. And I also have a Facebook page, Aces Adventures, where you can feel free to leave comments. And of course, even though everybody hates advertisements, the only way to get me to be able to see more places is with your help. YouTube is not a very good place in terms of monetization. It's very hard to make money as a YouTube creator, and the only way I travel is off of the ad revenue I make off this. So if you want to become a Patreon subscriber, Patreon is great because you can donate as little as $1 a month, and that every 100% of that money goes towards travels, gas, fuel, hotels, lodging, that kind of, all that fun stuff. So patreon.com/acesadventures. And also, one more quick thing, any Patreon subscriber this year is going to be noticing some exclusive content, only for Patreon subscribers, and going to be doing some other cool things along the year. So thanks for listening to me babble for these last few minutes here. Hopefully you enjoy this rest of the tour of the mall as we go through this old school McDonald's here. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, enjoy the content, and keep an eye out for more adventures from the Dead Mall Kings right here at Aces Adventures.
Everybody's talking about this. You see